Well, good afternoon. My name's Kirk Patston, and it's time once again for Culture Spot. And we're off again to the 24th Dobell Drawing Prize. Today we're noticing how much artists are concerned about nature, what we might call as Christians, creation care. Now, this was in the Dobell Drawing Prize, and oh my goodness, it's so traditional. It's pencil on paper. And it's a tree. We expect artists to show us how beautiful creation is, and this really is a beautiful work drawn in the south coast of New South Wales. If we go to the next slide, the artist called his work here an obsession, spending 1,500 hours paying homage to the beauty of the trees and the plants of the south coast of New South Wales. So this work is by Eamon Jackson. It's called Aftermath. He called it a homage to the landscape, especially the spotted gums and burrowangs. He did this work in response to Australia's Black Summer bushfires of 2019 to 2020, which he said amplified the fragility of the environment and the importance of land management and protection. Note the environmental theme here and the call for action that in a way feels vaguely Christian. It's a call for stewardship, I think, this work. What do you think this next drawing is? Okay, I'm not going to get the French right, but this is by Shona Trescott. It's called Forest et Trésiment, burnt ink of the National Forest Policy Statement on watercolour paper. So what she's done is taken our National Forest Policy and rubbed it out. It's a wordless visual commentary on the failure to address urgent conservation needs. The act of burning becomes both a scar and a protest, the artist says. What about this artwork? Drawing here is done with thread, not with a pencil. And what happened for this work is that lots of people took scraps of cotton fabric and stitched crosses onto them. People in aged care homes did it, people in community groups, individuals. In fact, at this exhibition, there was thread and cloth if you wanted to have a go as well. The work is called Menindee Memorial Loop. It's by Julie Patterson. And each little cross represents a fish who died. And this artwork is an act of corporate lament. But interestingly, so it's a lament for the multiple mass fish killings along the Barker or the Darling River. But interestingly, the artist says that in community groups choosing to be involved in this, we've got the beginnings of corporate action. We've got communal lament happening, but we've also got mending happening. And then she made the work a loop because as we care for nature, she will care for us. So there's some kind of hope here in communal lament and action. Here's another way to draw. Put seeds on the floor to represent the diameter of an Australian red cedar. This is called red gold, which is what people in the colonial period called Australian red cedars. They used to use them to make things like carriages and coffins. The artist statement for this one is just so art gallery speak, I had to put it in. So Shona Trescott, the same lady who burnt the Forestry Act of Parliament, says, by blending historical narratives with ecological urgency through eco-feminist drawing, I aim to foster dialogue about land ownership and the enduring impact of colonialism on Australia's landscapes. Interestingly, this work also was a call to action. You were invited to take a seed from the work and go and plant it somewhere. Maybe there's something Christian in that. Call to action in response to what you see. So these artworks are about creation, but they're not kind of that traditional sense of just wonder at creation. They're acts of advocacy on behalf of creation. They're acts of calling us to responsibility. They're acts of protest. They're acts of lament, fascinatingly, and calls to action. Indeed, wouldn't reading Genesis give you a sense of responsibility? Wouldn't reading prophecy give you a sense of protest? Wouldn't reading Psalms give you words for lament? Wouldn't reading wisdom and law bring with it a call to action? Fascinating that the impulses in these works are thoroughly biblical impulses, I think. But the question is, where is hope found? Is it in nature being a loop that will care for us? Is it in the human actions of communal cross-stitching? Is the artist nature's voice on nature's behalf? Or can we find hope in God, the Creator? If artists are feeling the need to express responsibility, protest, lament, and action, is it time for a clearer Christian voice in the conversation about creation care?